This is so we started down this relationship, thing again, or made the pivot in the episode to talk about it. And now since we talked about, all the lies, and, this episode is most likely going to air right after Valentine's Day. Hopefully
somewhere around there.
Yeah, hopefully everybody has a great Valentine's Day, and this is not you.
Yeah, hopefully you don't need this help.
Yeah, hopefully you don't need it. This is from Budget and the Bees. The article is titled, These are the 8 worst ways to break up with someone.
I just want everybody to know we didn't read this. We just found it to be very interesting, and we wanted to look at it with you guys, because it's I want to see what are the 8 worst ways to break up with somebody. I'm sure I've done some of them, but yeah, let's see.
So this just shows a little bit about Nathan and myself. I did read it.
Oh.
and this is I wanted to make sure we weren't just spilling some stuff out, but that's my role more than Nate's, because he shows up and lets it rip.
Just let it
rip. So breaking up is never easy, but how do you do it can make all the difference. The wrong approach can leave lasting emotional scars and unnecessary drama. No matter how difficult the conversation is, treating the other person with respect should always be the priority. Unfortunately, many people take the easy or cowardly route, making the experience even more painful. Here are the worst ways to end a relationship and why you should avoid them at all costs. So the first one, you could go right here.
Whoa. Oh, I'm sorry. Ghosting. Ghosting is one of the most hurtful ways to break up with someone. It involves cutting off all communication without any explanation, leaving the other person confused and hurt. While it might seem like an easy way to avoid confrontation, it creates unresolved emotions and unnecessary anxiety. The person being ghosted may spend weeks or months wondering what went wrong. If you respect one enough to date them, you should at least have the decency to offer closure. I'm sorry to anyone that I've ever ghosted and I've made feel that way. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, so another difference between Nathan and I don't have to make an apology for this one. Ghosting is definitely a thing. Right?
Yeah, I was young once.
It happens, yeah. And it definitely happens much more at, when you're younger and acting much more crazy.
When you're young and hot.
Ooh, yeah. He hot. That's exactly it, right? Number 2, though. This is another one. When you break up over text. Breaking up over text is not only impersonal, but it's also disrespectful. A relationship, no matter how short, deserves a real conversation. Texting removes the ability to have an open discussion, making the other person feel disposable. It also prevents them from asking questions or expressing their emotions in a meaningful way. If distance isn't an issue, always choose to have the conversation in person or at least over a call.
I tried to break up with my lady over text.
How'd that work? She told you to show up, right? She showed up. What happened?
Yeah, I broke up with her in text, and I was going to ghost her after that. And she showed up at my job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you learned that wasn't the right way?
She didn't let me. We're still together.
Damn.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. You know me.
You don't lie.
Every time I say something, it's real. It might sound a little crazy to some people, but the truth is the truth. The life is stranger than fiction at times. Yeah.
So she knew what was best for you even though you didn't.
They always think that.
I'm just saying, she showed up. You broke up with her over text. You were planning to ghost her. She showed up. And 10 years later, it's your anniversary.
Yeah.
You take this next one, bro.
Oh yeah, this is great. This is easy. This is the easiest one for me right here. In public, to avoid a scene.
It seems like if you did it in public, you can actually create a scene compared to doing it in private.
You think? I think people like care more about being embarrassed and like embarrassing themselves and not like acting an ass in public.
Oh, for sure. That's
It might be safer.
Well, and for the other person, if you're like, let's say you're breaking up with them, they're going to feel like, you know, look terrible because they got broken up with.
I'm going to be real with you, bro. Like, I don't, like, if you got a family with somebody and it's deep, then like, yeah, you should do it like behind closed doors. But like, I don't feel like anybody else, like it could be anywhere, bro.
Like this shouldn't matter.
I don't owe you
You're doing it in.
Yeah, I don't owe you to do this behind closed doors and the comfort and the privacy. Nah, listen, it's over. Let's just wrap this up.
Especially if you don't have a bunch of ties.
Hey,
like,
look, you don't have
a
no
house
clothes.
together.
You ain't got clothes in my house.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a wrap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you done. You toast, baby.
So here's what it says though. Some people choose to break up in a public space to avoid a dramatic reaction. Well, this might seem like a smart idea. It can actually make the situation worse. The other person may feel trapped, embarrassed, or unable to fully express their feelings. A breakup should be an honest and private discussion, not something staged to control someone's reaction. If you're afraid of their response, it's better to set boundaries rather than manipulate the environment. I don't know if I'm fully on board with all this.
I don't know about that either.
Like, I mean, I get what it's saying that they can't fully express their stuff and all
Like
that.
how deep do they need to go?
Yeah, I mean,
do they need to yell?
They couldn't grab that vase and
what
throw
I'm
it
saying,
at my head.
do they need to yell? Do they need to yell at you?
I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like, do they need to like fully express their emotions, like, and go in on you? Like, do you deserve that? Is that what you need to do because you're breaking up with them? Is that like a part of the trade-off because you don't want to be with them anymore? Yo, F that.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm a grown person. I shouldn't have to be subjected to anything. That's why we're breaking up.
Yeah. Anybody that I've broken up with in a public space, it's been for a reason that they've been crazy. And I was worried about something they'd say or something they'd do if I was just alone with them. And
I don't think I've ever broke up with someone in a public space.
I have. And
Done a lot of ghosting.
I'm grateful that I did, to be honest.
Yeah.
This next one definitely
Ooh.
This is bad.
Ooh. Through a friend or a family member? Well, it all depends, dude. Having someone else deliver the bad. Oh yeah. Come on, yeah. You don't do that, right? Having someone else deliver the bad news for you is both cowardly and immature. I agree.
100%.
It shifts the emotional burden onto a third party, making the breakup even more confusing and hurtful. The person being dumped deserves to hear it from you directly, not secondhand from someone else. It also shows a lack of accountability and emotional maturity. If you don't have the courage to end a relationship yourself, you're not ready to be in one.
Whoa, that's a big statement right there. I totally agree though. Like, to have someone else do this for you, you're a coward. You know? And you must not have any respect for them at all.
Well, what about like support? Like somebody being there for support.
Well, maybe that's number 6 or something.
Like,
I don't know.
Like for a woman that want to break up with a man and she's like, I'm a little scared to break up. Well, I want to have somebody there with me.
Yeah, I think someone for support is probably a good idea. I know in one of my relationships, I needed to have someone there because I didn't want anything bad to happen. So having someone else there as a witness, now you literally go crazy and do something really nuts, I'm not going to be blamed for it.
Okay.
You know? So I would say that. Maybe that's on here, though. I don't know. Let's move forward. Here you go. You want to...
5, by slowly fading away. Dragging out a breakup by gradually withdrawing affection and communication is both cruel and unnecessary. This approach, known as the slow fade, makes the other person feel like they're the problem. They may hold on to false hope or feel like they're imagining a distance. Instead of avoiding an honest conversation, be upfront about your feelings. A clean break is always better than a slow, painful decline. Yeah, that's definite.
I mean, this is a pretty simple
Don't
one.
waste my time, first of all. If we breaking up, just break up with me.
It totally.
Listen,
Just
don't drag this shit. Don't drag it out. Let me get on with my life.
rip the Band-Aid off.
Can I
Let's
start
go.
like, hey, can I hit the start over button? I mean, for real. Like yeah,
real.
bro.
Yeah, this next one's definitely
Like
like
for me, like I'm a life's too short person. Like I'm not gonna be like sitting there dwelling on it. Oh, I wish this and that, and I wish she. Nah, dog. Moving on.
Yeah.
Like Cali Buds, boy. Moving on, boy.
Moving on.
That's right.
So number 6, using social media.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, dude, this is tough. So announcing your breakup through social media before telling your partner is humiliating and disrespectful. Some people update their relationship status, post cryptic messages, or even block their partner before having a real conversation. This public approach turns a private matter into unnecessary drama, inviting unwanted opinions and gossip. Social media should never be a breakup tool. It's a place for sharing, not hurting. Always handle your relationships offline before making any public changes. I agree with that, man. Sounds good to me. I try not to post stuff on social media unless it's for real, because I'm not trying to have everybody
I try
else.
not to get too personal on
Yeah.
social media, period, brother. Like I might like
That's the other thing.
I like might read something and like get offended by it and leave a snide comment on occasion. Like I might do that, just being real. But other than that, I don't really do too much interacting on that.
So this next one, you know, being that this is coming out right after Valentine's Day.
After a big event or holiday, breaking up right after your partner's birthday, a vacation, or a major holiday is a low blow. It makes them question whether your affection during those moments was even real. While there's no perfect time for a breakup, doing it immediately after a meaningful occasion feels calculated and cruel. If you know the relationship is ending, it's better to address it before an important event rather than let them build false memories. Thoughtfulness in timing can make a huge difference in how the breakup is received. Hey, look.
This is tough.
I'm just, again, this is just in my own opinion, keeping it real. This is just me. Like, I don't care what day it is. If I knew before, then it was probably going to be over before. Right? If you're like knew it was gonna be over and you like trying to get through holidays to see what kind of gifts you're gonna get or some corny shit like that, then you're a fool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see that happen.
Now, if you break up right after, so be it. Look, I'm sorry. If I gonna break up with you, if we're already there, I'm not probably not thinking about how you're gonna feel after because there was a holiday or none of that. Look, it's over again. It's like why. What? So, what if during the holiday I figure out that I want to break up with you? Do I have to wait a month or 2 months? Is there a set amount of time that I have to wait that's the right amount of time for me to break up with you after something like this? We have to be realistic about this stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're talking about is being authentically yourself and who you are.
What do we? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what relationships are about.
Yeah,
right?
there's no like. So this for me, this one I'm a little bit standoffish on.
Yeah.
It's like a little like, you know, the people. These things, even what we're reading, a lot of this is really good.
Yeah.
But these are what are called unwritten rules, right?
Yeah. So this too, I don't know. I could see how if your partner has a bunch of stuff planned with the family, the airline tickets, all this different stuff, why you'd want to go through with it in hopes that things will repair by going through the stuff, right? So, and you got all this stuff planned. So if you were to break up, it would literally crush the whole holiday, right?
Right.
So why wouldn't you do it after the holiday.
That's a selfless.
In-
That's a selfless act,
it
right?
seems like more selfless to do it that way because you're like, man, they planned this whole thing. I'm literally going to be with their family. Their family all knows me. I'm going to show up, see how this feels. If through that process, it still is like, nah, man, I need to do
and
this.
you deserve that. You deserve to be able to do that, right?
Yeah, and in a sense, I think not breaking up right before, because how would that person feel showing up to their family right before Christmas when you were supposed to be there? Now, they're going to show up. They're going to go, by the way, you know, Maria ain't coming, or Billy, he's not showing up.
Oh, they gonna know. They gonna know when they see that significant other not there.
Yeah, and now the whole
what's this?
thing is going to be about that
And what's
instead
this?
of enjoying the holiday. So I don't know if I completely agree with this one, but before Valentine's Day, at least if you did it then and you knew you didn't want to do it, sharing that
Valentine's
moment.
Day is not even real, bro.
Well, I mean, it's a holiday for lovers, man. So
Nah,
that's-
you know what's a holiday for lovers? Every day.
make a short out of that one. That one's
No,
funny.
this is the way we are. Like, we don't care about just being real. We're not on Valentine's Day because it's like we show each other we love each other every day. Like,
Nah, I get
all this
that.
other craziness, man. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's a made-up holiday to sell more diamond rings. So the last one here, blaming them for everything. Ending a relationship by placing all the blame on the other person is unfair and unkind. It's all your fault. Even if their actions contributed to the breakup. Relationships are a two-way street. Making them feel solely responsible for the failure of the relationship can leave emotional scars. A more respectful approach is to acknowledge your own role and communicate why things aren't working out. Blame only fuels resentment, while honesty and kindness foster closure. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, dude. It's never always someone else's fault. Takes two to play, two to tango. Like, that's the whole thing.
Well, it seems that it is common for most couples when arguing when emotions are heightened, right? Before people come back to center,
Yeah.
it's often a you this,
Yeah.
yeah, but you that.
Yeah.
And there's never going to be a resolution with these things.
Yeah.
You know, when you ever go to this type of counseling, they always, when you start with that, the couples counseling, it's always that. He this, she that, she
I
this.
know.
And then they go, all right, listen, cool. We get it now. Like, you cannot keep saying it's her, and you cannot keep saying it's him. Like, you have to look within yourselves to see, what am I doing? You know what I mean? So
And what's the deep roots of why something they're doing is hurting you,
yeah.
that you feel uncomfortable? Yeah, I think there's definitely some good things. Let's go through and why don't you repeat them all one more time.
All right. These are the worst ways to break up with someone. 1, ghosting. 2, over text. 3, in public to avoid a scene. 4, through a friend or family member. 5, by slowly fading away. 6, using social media. 7, after a big event or holiday. And 8, blaming them for everything.
Yeah, there's definitely some helpful stuff here. One thing I know is I got to get a girlfriend to worry about breaking up with her.
That's one thing. You have to do that first.
Yeah, you got to do that
Before,
first.
yes.
Okay, yeah. So at least I got that covered.
Yes.